Okay, so this is how to play Word Factory, a word spelling game. It's for 2 to 4 players. You'll need player boards, which you'll need a player board for each player, and then you'll need a central board. You'll need a pawn. We'll use Rubble here as the pawn. And then you're going to need some letter tiles. Scrabble tiles work. You can also use other letter tiles if you happen to have them. Whatever you have on hand should probably work out all right. I'll go ahead and set up a 2-player game and kind of run you through how the game works. So each player gets a player board. There's going to be one central board. The pawn is going to go on the space that's denoted with start. And then each of these hopper areas are going to get the number of tiles shown by the squares. So 3 in this one, 1, and then 2. And then each of these players is going to draw 5 letter tiles, and they're going to do them one by one and left to right in the order they draw them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just clean up that D. And then this player over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So an important aspect of this game is that you never rearrange the tiles on your assembly line here. So each player has a little assembly line here. They're gonna have an area over here for completed words, an area over here for letters that weren't able to go in a word. It's gonna be a little crowded here to fit it in with the camera, but we'll try and make it work. On the assembly line, letters can never be rearranged, so this D can't move over here. It always has to stay here to the right of the T and to the left of this E. Other letters can get slotted in between, but the relative order has to stay fixed. So, on a player's turn, there's a handy little thing here you can go through. What you're going to do is you're going to select one of these 5 hoppers and take all the letters from it. The very first hopper is free. You can just take that letter. The next one, you have to pay a letter to this one. The third one along, you have to pay a letter into this one and to this one, so on and so forth. So you could take this U and N, but you would have to discard 4 of your letters off of your assembly line to do so. So let's go ahead and say that this player is going first and that they want to take this hopper. So they're going to go chunk, chunk to this hopper. They have to pay one of their letters from their assembly line. So maybe they want to get rid of this X. They're not going to spell anything with an X, they don't think. They take both these letters. They get to place them on their assembly line wherever they want. So they're going to put hail, and maybe they'll put the N there. So now the third step in the what you do on your turn is resolving fallout. In the event that they had more than 10 letters on their assembly line, those letters would go over to the left here. They get to choose which to discard back down to 10, and any excess letters would go to the left, count against you at the end of the game. And then the next step is you refill the hopper, which is now empty, with however many squares are there. And lastly, optionally, you can choose to spell one word. This player has hail. They're going to go ahead and spell that. So they put all these letters over here on the right-hand side. This player has an option to challenge if they want. If they think hail's not a word, but they know hail is a word. So that's basically how you play. You keep playing like that until you get to the end of the bag. Once the last tile is drawn, each player gets one last chance to spell a word. Any letters that remain are added to the fallout. You get a point for each letter on the right-hand side of your player board, and a negative point for each letter that's on the left-hand side of your player board. I'm going to go ahead and play through until we get to some other situations just to show you how those resolve. Okay, so we've sped up a little bit, and it's now this player's turn. They have this board here, and they want to get this Y. So they're going to go ahead and move the thing here. They have to discard 1 to here. Maybe they don't like this F, but you can only ever have 5 letters in one of these. That's the max. So if you go to add a 6th, all of these are out of the game, and the 6th gets added normally. This player is going to pick up, oops, sorry, Rubble. pick up these E and the Y. They're going to go ahead and put this Y here, and maybe this E here. And they now have 11 letters, which they're not allowed to have. So they have to do the fallout. They have to discard one letter to their fallout like that. And then they refill the empty hopper. Here we go. With random tiles, that's a blank. If you're using Scrabble tiles and you have blanks, you can use them just like blanks in Scrabble. They're gonna go ahead and spell the word sagely. Now, sagely is 6 letters long. Every letter over 4 letters, you get a bonus letter, essentially. So if you spell a 5-letter word, a 5-letter long word, you get 1 bonus letter. 6-letter long word, 2 bonus letters. 7, 3, 8, 4, so on and so forth. So because this is 6 letters long, they are going to get 2 bonus letters. So they spell this word, and then they get to draw the 2 bonus letters straight from the bag and add them anywhere on their assembly line. Maybe they want to put this here and maybe like this. Maybe they're hoping they'll get dance or something. And then that's the end of their turn, and it'll be the next player's turn. So that was just to show some of the other things that can happen. I think that pretty much covers the rules. And yeah, at the end, so if the game were over right now, it isn't, but lots more letters in the bag. But if there were, this player would get a chance to spell one last word. They can't see any word to spell, so these would all go into their fallout pile. And then they would get 6, 9, 11 minus, what is this? 7 is 4 points. Normally scores are a bit higher because you have more tiles on either side, but that's the basic rundown of Word Factory.